Dear Anita, I miss you. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of you. Often I find my mind tiptoeing back to those beautiful, deep blue eyes. What are you experiencing at this very moment? What's that sweet girl feeling? What is she hoping and yearning for? These questions wash over me with a mixture of pain and guilt, and there are days where I feel like I failed you. I was supposed to teach you how to ride a bicycle and hang your drawings on the fridge. I was the one who was meant to pick you up when you fell, and yet, when you reach out your hand, I'm thousands of miles away. I struggle to forgive myself for allowing things to unfold this way. You deserve a father, a man who loves you so deeply and unconditionally that you know that there's no mistake that you could make that could take you out of his love. There are circumstances that have physically removed you from my life, but there's nothing in the world that can make me stop wanting you here with me. I know that you may never understand things fully, but my goal is to show you that you will always be mine. I intend on creating space for you every step of the way so that when the time is right, you can be with me. I'm going to put these videos out so that you can know your dad. I'm capable of so much, but I'm flawed. I built great things and loved deeply, but I've also made mistakes. I've tried so hard to do the right thing, and yet I found myself in a tough spot with no one to blame but Cole. This is meant to be a little window into my heart and my mind so that one day you can look back and see why I chose the path I did. It's coming up on 2 years that I've lived in Alaska, and I love it. After you and your mother went back to Italy, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't have the means to be able to chase you across the world, and I was forced to pick a place that I could grow. Find a space to finally take the time to quiet my mind, a search for a sense of peace. When I was young, I joined the military with the intention of being around grown men who forced me to mature, but instead it enabled childish behaviors and stalled my progression through life. After I got out, I moved all over the U.S. searching for a place that I belonged, a place I could foster a relationship with nature, dig into my heart, and to begin to heal, but I continued to be disappointed. Washington, Montana, Arkansas, Texas, Virginia, Florida, South Carolina, the list goes on. Nowhere felt like home. It wasn't genuine enough. It wasn't what my spirit needed. Alaska was the end of the line, the furthest point on the map. I decided that if I couldn't find what I was looking for in the wilderness, then there was no hope left. Chiro and I showed up to Fairbanks with nothing but 2 duffel bags and moved into a dry cabin. We have electricity, but no running water. Can you imagine that? I know it sounds crazy, but I really and truly think you would love it here. The simplicity of the lifestyle forces you to slow down. It's basic and rustic, but I filled this place with intention and love. In a world that's so focused on consuming, it reminds you that your heart really doesn't need much to feel fulfilled. It's in this little cabin that I really started to unravel the bandages and dig the thorns out of my heart. As I get older, I realize that there are things that I've been holding on to since childhood that do not benefit me. Pain, grief, and trauma that live in the recesses of my subconscious. Little moments and memories that hold me back. I slowed things down almost to a halt so that I could carefully unpack all of the beliefs I held to be true, systematically examining them, trying them on, and seeing which ones fit and which to cast aside. Unfortunately, I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. I've made mistakes. I've stated things with certainty that did not align with my values or my character, and worse, I've caused pain. The hardest part of realizing this is accepting the fact that I will always be capable of this. No matter how hard you work to have a pure heart and be a good woman, you'll never be able to avoid being human. It's part of the deal. And maybe that's the beauty of it. I have a hunch that you're incredibly intelligent and that you're going to start wrestling with these concepts at an early age. Generally speaking, for some reason, women tend to mature a little faster than men. My greatest hope in this life is that you outperform me, that you make better decisions than I did, and that you start this journey at a much earlier stage in your life, identifying and accepting your flaws so that you can love yourself deeply. We are so beautifully flawed. But why? I believe it's intentional. We were never meant to stagnate, so we're either in a state of growth or a state of decay. Our constant stream of mistakes gives us the opportunity to put aside our pride and crumbles the bent worldviews that are cemented in our mind. We strive for perfection, constantly accepting that we will never achieve it. My goal is to My goal is to be content with this position in life, but always pursue a deeper, cleaner habit and a sillier take. It's taken me a long time to understand correction, either from myself or from a loved one, but I've come to think that it's very similar to pruning a tree. A young sapling shoots up out of the soil. It strives to reach upward towards the light. The goal is clear, but very far. The instinct is move quickly and grow as fast as possible, but grow too fast, and soon the trunk of the tree will not be able to support its own weight. With no strength to stand on, it will soon get too heavy to bear its own load and inevitably collapse. I've been cut down before, many times, whether through the divine hand of fate or my own doing. I've been forced down to a lower place when I felt in my heart that I should have continued to progress. I was mad at myself, mad at God. Why would this happen to me? Why not give me the things that would make me happy? I want them now. I know what's best for myself. But the gardener who keeps watch over the field has a plan. He knows that there are things we need to grasp, lessons to be learned, and tribulations to overcome. While we're small, so that when we grow to be big and mighty in the future, he knows that there are things we need to grasp, lessons to be learned, and tribulations to overcome while we're small, so that we can grow to be big and mighty in the future. It stings, though, doesn't it? It hurts when pieces of ourselves are cut off. Maybe we grow comfortable in our broken state and grow affectionate towards our flaws solely out of comfort. We get angry, upset, and frustrated. We retaliate, grow to resent people, and become bitter, even when it's for the best. I know I have. Pruning hurts. A tree will also put out branches in the wrong direction. It thinks it knows best what direction the light will shine. It hasn't even been through a full year and has no idea that the seasons change. The sun will shift, and the amount of energy required to grow that branch will end up a waste. Dead weight that receives no light at all. That branch must be lopped off. It's painful. We can grow to be attached to our errors. We grew them for a reason, right? I've grown prideful over mistakes I've made simply because I started them out with good intentions. If my heart was clean when I started, then maybe I can take this twisted path and make it straight. But there are better things in store for us. Sometimes those parts of us that we've grown need to be trimmed off early so that our energy can be devoted in other directions. Wait too long and it can suck the life out of the tree, slowly causing it to rot. What if you were made for more than you can imagine? What if there's more in store than the things that you're asking for? These are the questions I faced. We all have our own journey. Your life and mine will forever be intertwined, but realistically look radically different. I can't tell you what to believe, how to live, or what the answers to your questions will be. I can't hold you when you need to be held. All I can give you is my story. I'm trying to explain to you who I am and how I ended up here. Piece by piece, I'll tell you what I'm wrestling with and how I'm trying to overcome it. Though I've always known it to be true, I've only recently started living out the fact that it all comes from within. No one can discover truth for us. We have to find it on our own. I want to make your path a little easier, though. Everyone has their own calling, and for some reason, you were called to be a strong woman. You don't have luxuries your peers will have. You'll have to grow up a little faster and learn to take care of yourself and rely on your own heart. Not having a father physically present will hurt, but it gives you the opportunity to grow into a woman who can do absolutely anything. I have so much respect for you and what lies in store for you. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you have a place to go, to learn and create and feel secure. So be patient with me. I know that's not an easy thing to ask of a child, but I'm doing my best to become the man you deserve. It's taken a long time, and I still have such a ways to go. I stumble and point myself in the right direction, and even as a grown man, am cut down and humbled. But in that state of humility, I think we can see a little more clearly. The hard shell of our pride is burned away, leaving us exposed and vulnerable. My goal is to always operate from a state of strength in my vulnerability, and I'm starting with these letters. I love you with my whole heart, and I always will. and I'm waiting here for you.